The Raptors, not an especially good road team. They are coached by Sam Mitchell at 41. His rookie season as head coach, it has been a rocky one, to say the least. And now the Wachovia starters for the 76ers in the front court: Kyle Korver, Samuel Dalembert, and Chris Webber. In the backcourt, Allen Iverson and Andre Iguodala, as the 76ers striving for the 500 mark. They'd love to get this one, Jim O'Brien would, before the three-game Western swing, which starts Sunday at LA against the Lakers. Michael Barkan with us tonight to talk about some milestones in regards to Allen Iverson.
That's right, Sue. AI averaging 34 points per game over his last 5 games, but if he just gets his season average of 30 tonight, he will take one more move up the scoring list ladder, and he's in some rare air, even at number 70 right now. He's got 16,000 plus. He started this season outside of the top 100. Look how many spots he's moved up. He'll eclipse big game James Worthy and Joe Dumars next if he just gets his average of 30 tonight. 26 behind James Worthy. Sue?
And in bold relief there, Michael, how many fewer games Allen has played than those around him. That all-time scoring list. And this is the last of 4 meetings between the teams, the Sixers and the Toronto Raptors. Sixers lead the season series 2-1. It'll be Bosh and Dalembert, and we are running tonight from the Wachovia Center, and this is the last of a 3-game homestand for the Sixers. Iverson had it taken away by Rafer Alston, who works it with Peterson, and Peterson delivers the first points of the game.
Off the turnover, AI with the initial turnover, and the Raptors taking advantage of that.
Team's last meeting 12 days ago in Toronto. We know what happened in that game is the Sixers turn it over again. That's not a good sign. 2 turnovers, their first 2 possessions of the game. Of course, the Raptors love the 3, and there is Alston airballing his version of it as we bring you the keys of the game, brought to you by Chrysler.
Well, the first key is you have to defend the pick and roll. The last time these 2 teams faced each other, Toronto ran over 40 pick and rolls. Then you have to challenge the 3 as well. Keep in mind, Toronto, last time they faced each other, 21 for 34 from beyond the arc, 62%.
Jim O'Brien had already begun to tweak the Sixer defense, and he has done so even more after the Raptors unloaded for that NBA record 21 threes the last time the teams met. And the guy who actually tied the individual mark, he now holds with Kobe Bryant. Reading's Donyell Marshall had 12 threes in the game.
Smart play by Andre with the shot clock running down. Threw it off one of the Toronto Raptors' legs instead of having 5 seconds left. Moved it out to 14.
He's a smart guy, that Andre Iguodala. And an excellent athlete. Kyle Korver hits the 3. Kyle now at least 1 3 in 23 consecutive games. That's a season and career high for him.
In the last 6 games from beyond the arc, 51%.
Came in trailing Quentin Richardson of Phoenix. And the race for total threes made in the NBA this season.
Right off the bat, take a look at a little dribble handoff. Kyle Korver with the 3 ball. Early on, our Southwest long distance shot.
Korver just 8 threes away from breaking the Sixers season record, held by that Dana Barros. Just a matter of time. Kyle Korver. The season ending a little more than, or a little less than a month from now. Sixers including tonight 15 games remaining in the regular season. Bosh contending with Dalembert. He likes to put the ball on the floor. Dalembert, the near block, and Semi comes up with the miss.
Struggling the last couple games, Bosh has got a little lower back problem.
He's a young guy. He just turned 21 yesterday, Chris Bosh, as Iverson missed inside. And it will belong to the Toronto Raptors in spite of the best efforts of Samuel Dalembert. Sixers, a number of them wearing headbands tonight. Dalembert, Chris Webber, Iverson usually with a headband. Sixers in the 8th spot. We mentioned that at the top. The Raptors 5 games behind them. Jalen Rose is their leading scorer on the season, averaging 18. In fact, earlier this year he passed Dad
about
the all-time
that?
scoring
Jimmy
column.
Walker. And he has been on a tear since these two teams met each other last, averaging almost 30 points per game.
That's a great pass from Kyle Korver and a nice little sneak into the movies there by Andre Iguodala.
Well, that's what you like to see. Take advantage when the defensive players have their head turned, go right to the rack.
Iguodala, not just the triple-double. 10 points, 10 boards, 10 assists. He also had 4 steals. Did not have a turnover in 43 minutes. The Sixers game, their win Wednesday here against Detroit. D'Alembert fouling Aaron Williams, who will go to the line.
Andre with the pass over to Kyle. Back to Andre. A little up screen there. Taking advantage of that. Going back door. There you go. About Aaron Williams. He's played in only 2 games in the last 14. Here he gets a start. And in those 2 games that he's played, total 10 minutes.
And the real head scratcher, Sam Mitchell's team has got killed on the boards all year, and that's what Aaron Williams does.
Yep. Well, Araujo is not a rebounder.
He is the rookie out of BYU who had been the starter at center. Rafael Araujo.
I have to assume by all the games that he's played that the management's put some pressure on him to play him.
Rose missing the 3. Raptors will take their share, their 3rd in the NBA in attempting threes. Iverson is fouled en route to the hoop. He'll take his luck to the line. Wait for Alston the personal. Allen 30 or more points in 5 straight games. He had the 39 and 10 assists Sixer win here Wednesday against Detroit. His 19th double-double of the season. In those games, the Sixers are 12 and 7. He had the 5 steals. He is 2nd in that category in the league to Larry Hughes of the Washington Wizards.
Probably not going to catch Larry for the #1 spot. Larry's got him by about half a steal per game. That's a lot coming down the stretch.
That said, Allen appears to be a shoo-in this late stage for his 4th scoring title. His NBA career, putting him in very rare company. Will Chamberlain, Michael Jordan, the Iceman, George Gervin, the only others to do that as Iverson plays amidst the pack of players. But he will get 2 more.
Using his quickness to get by some of the slower defensive players on Toronto's team. Wouldn't be a bit surprised at some point if Sam Mitchell would go to that zone that he used so effectively up in Toronto.
Mitchell spending the previous 2 seasons as an assistant with Milwaukee. He was actually hired by the Charlotte Bobcats, the expansion team, as their lead assistant when the Raptors came a-calling. We've had 5 lead changes already in the game, not even 4 minutes old. D'Alembert controlling against Alston, their starter at point. That's Peterson, who's played well this year against the Sixers. A tough shot. There's Iguodala leaking.
Nice.
What a look. Wow. Boy, Allen. That was an amazing bounce pass that stayed about 2 or 3 feet off the floor.
Absolutely nothing that Andre was going to do with it. Take a look. Here's Andre right there. I mean, that ball never came up. Hit him in the hands. But you have to go down so far to pick those up.
He'll pick that one up. Iguodala, few run the floor better than him, and few finish better than him. Sixer advantage now at 4. Peterson has Williams, who slams for 2. Aaron Williams, his 11th year in the league at a Xavier. As Steve mentioned, he's barely gotten a sniff for the Raptors. His first start of the season. That's Weber thinking 3. Made a great look to D'Alembert, and that's the aforementioned Aaron Williams with a goaltend. Scored 2 for Sammy on a great look. A great look by Chris Weber.
See, take a look at Mo Pete coming across the middle. He's left-handed. They have 4 lefties on their team, so they like to use that right side of the court. As Mo Pete comes to the middle, he uses a strong hand to get the ball back to Williams.
Is that a good thing, having so many lefties?
Yeah.
Said the left-hander.
Exactly. I think you got to have more lefties myself.
Here's Bosch slamming for 2. Mentioned Bosch turning 21 yesterday. He came out of Georgia Tech early. Sixers turn it over again. There's Alston teeing up a 3, and he drops it.
That's the one thing the 76ers have to defend against, is that 3 ball. They've been averaging 31 3-point attempts against the 76ers. On the year, they're averaging just 21. They've dropped 41 in 3 games.
Weber with a terrific move on Aaron Williams. Searching for the whistle, but none forthcoming. Williams, pretty good defender. You know, thinking back, Steve, I noticed that the Raptors, and taking as many threes as they have this year against the Sixers, have taken a lot this year off the fast break.
Yep. But when you've got 4 guys in the top 40 in the league, why not?
That's Williams, and he drops 2. So clearly a good move by Sam Mitchell to go to him.
Hey, well, I mean, I'm surprised it wasn't a good move a month ago. This is the first time you have a chance to say it now.
Oh, just get back. All right.
So the Raptors now with a 9-2 spurt here in the first.
The drive to the hoop, seeing a little stop and pop by Williams.
That's Weber for 3. Chris doesn't take many threes, but going into the game, getting about 40.5% of those. Here are the Sixers down 3. Korver open for a while, and down it goes, Steve. It's hot. Sip it. It's instant Korver.
It's always good to see. Kyle Korver with the 3. 76ers 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. And they've knocked down 46% of their threes against Toronto in the first 3 games.
Jalen Rose's attempt goes out of bounds. Wedged and now loose. So, a lot of lead changes here in the first quarter. Some runs. Kyle Korver capping the latest for the Sixers to lock it up at 16. You'll enjoy the game of basketball even more this summer. If you attend a 76ers camps, you kids, it's open for you aged 8 to 17. 20-day camp and 6 overnight options available. Call 610-668-7676 for more information.
Take a look at Kyle coming down wide open. Got his hand up. Hello, hello, hello. There I am. Yes, sir. Kyle Korver, 3 ball, knocks it down.
Kyle Korver now 2 behind Quentin Richardson for the NBA lead and 3-pointers made. Richardson, the guy who beat him out for the top spot. 3-point shootout all-star weekend. Kyle 3rd as a rookie, the first ever rookie to participate in that contest. He was 2nd this year. Here the Sixers out of the timeout. That's Dalembert with a nice fake. And he hit the jumper, so Samuel Dalembert continues to achieve a little more consistency. His second field goal, he has 4 and 3 boards.
Well, the last 2 games averaged 13.5 points, 12 rebounds.
Solid shooting by the Sixers and then some here in the first quarter. Truth be told, the Raptors not a very good defensive team. They usually take pretty good care of the basketball, however, as Iverson glides in against Bosch, who got a piece of the rock. Allen claiming that Bosch got a piece of him. And in fact, now Blaine Reichelt, I thought that Bosch blocked the shot. Perhaps Reichelt thinks the same thing, and he's going to discuss it with one of the officials, Tom Washington. And I believe that's the call. So Blaine Reichelt trailing the play, rules that Bosch hit it last. Here's the Sixers up a deuce. Weber got it. Chris Webber's first field goal, returning after a 1-game absence Wednesday against Detroit to hit for 19, capping a 7-0 Sixers spurt. That's the largest lead of the game thus far at 4. Full of young, talented athletes, and Bosch and Dalembert going at it. Sixers here whistled for the defensive 3-second violation. And so Jalen Rose, their best free throw shooter, will go to the line and shoot the tee. this will probably now be the 3rd straight season that Toronto will end up out of the playoffs.
I mean, take a look at the moves they've made. You traded Vince Carter in New Jersey, essentially got nothing back. You finally got Aaron Williams started. You ended up trading Alonzo Mourning.
They
down
did
to
get some first-round picks in that.
Well, yeah, but that's down the road, and you can't trust first-round pick. Take a look at who they drafted this year.
Alston sneaking it by the good shot blocker Samuel Dallenberg. For Alston, his first field goal. He's 3rd on the team in scoring. The point guard averaging 14. He has had a rather rocky season with the Raptors, threatening at one time to lead the team. As there, Aaron Williams bellies up to Chris Webber and fouls him for a second.
Now you go back to those first-round picks. Take a look at Chicago a number of years ago. They stockpiled first-round picks, and look where that ended up.
Here's Donyell Marshall getting set to come in. Again, Marshall at the center of that 3-point barrage by the Raptors. Hit 12 of them, 13 field goals in all, 38 points, a career high. Also had 10 rebounds. He's also in that game set a record for a Raptors player coming off the bench by hitting for 38 points. As Webber hits a second field goal for 4, the Sixers come out here and hit 8 of their first 14 shots. Marshall squaring up for 3. Dallenberg was the latecomer, and well, you hope it's not here we go again.
Well, this is when they started running the pick and roll the last time. Now all of a sudden, Marshall hits his first 3-pointer, and they're running pick and rolls again.
Sixers at least now trying to make Marshall work defensively as Korver came up with a steal. Webber against a former Fab Fiver in Jalen Rose. Webber, of course, playing with Rose at Michigan, and he got 2 on him. That's Marshall with another 3, and he hits it.
The man can shoot some threes. 42% from beyond the arc. Last time these two teams faced each other, dropped 12 of them. Please, somebody guard him.
Webber now leads the Sixers with 8. Well, they got a lot of weapons. They got 3 guys who shoot better than 40% from beyond the arc. Marshall clearly one of them.
Let the other guys make some.
Or force the other guys to make some. Iverson, terrific drive to the hoop. Allen, his first field goal, he's got 6. And Rose's shot for the second time here in the first quarter. Bounces over the backboard and out of bounds.
Right here, the pick and pop, and that's what he's going to do. You're not going to pick and roll with Marshall. You end up picking and popping. And once again, you're double teaming somebody probably down below that you didn't have to. And now that's a long run for Samuel Dallenberg to get out on.
76ers with a 3-point lead. 2 and change to go. We're in the first. Chris Webber with 8 here in the first quarter. Monday night, Comcast Sportsnet celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Wildcats' amazing NCAA victory. Don't miss A Family Legacy. The stories behind Villanova's 1985 basketball championship. Monday night at 7 here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Well, Chris Webber, the first 7 minutes of this game, 0 for 1, 0 points. In the last 3 minutes, Chris Webber, 8 points. Chris Webber really helping this team out. Take a look at that on 4 of 6. So he's gone 4 of his last 5 as the 76ers have made 7 of their last 9 shots and hold 3 over the Raptors.
Here now the Sixers out of the timeout. Korver missing the deuce. Marshall the rebound. He averages 7. Only 26 minutes per game. Dallenberg, second on the Sixers in rebounding, averaging 7. His 4th kicked off already. Iverson, right by Peterson to lay it in. Allen now with 8. Bosch trying to come back. He slams for 2 and a foul. Korver, the latecomer, called for the personal.
The lower back of Chris Bosch looked like it's starting to feel a little bit better. Chris Bosch, his 4th shot right here. Take a look, going right to the hoop and throwing it down. Another lefty on this team.
Sound like a proud papa when you talk about lefties.
Well, my first coach in the NBA, Butch Van Bredikoff, when I was with the Detroit Pistons, he wanted to put together an entire team of lefties.
Sounds to me like a leftist plot.
That's because we think out of the right side of our mind compared to you guys.
You'd have to tell me how that translates to basketball, but we could discuss that another time. No translation necessary here. Chris Webber is hot, my friends. He's 5 of 7. He's got 10 to pace the Sixers. In fact, Webber and Iverson at 10 are responsible for the Sixers' last 14 points over about a 3-minute span. As Bosch was slammed for 2, compliments of Rafer Alston.
And the reason Bosch was open because Marshall pulled Samuel Dalembert out away from the hoop. He's already knocked 2, so Samuel's starting to think, well, I better stay a little bit closer to him, and that opened up the middle.
By the way, Alston with 6 assists already for the Raptors. Iverson fouled by Peterson, so Peterson, the second Raptors starter, to pick up his second. We should also mention that the Sixers starter, Kyle Korver, is on the bench with 2 personals. Aaron McKee for him moments ago, and now Eric Williams coming in for the first time for the Raptors, and he is in for Peterson. And Rodney Rogers set to come in for the 76ers. With Iverson going to the line for the 5th. And 6 times here in the first quarter. Our singular wireless call of the game, Chris Webber. He's had it going on here in the opening quarter.
I really have. We talked about him. No points the first 7 minutes, and then take a look. Coming down the stretch, the last 5 minutes, doing a great job. Knocking down the jump shot after jump shot.
And warm applause for C-Webb also. 2 boards, 2 assists. Again, Rodney Rogers for him with a Sixer lead at 4. And the Raptors end up turning it over. Toronto averages 13 turnovers a game. That's pretty good.
That is good. That's second in the league. Only Sacramento, who the Sixers will see on Monday, turn it over less.
Marshall off the Iverson miss. Alston somehow got it up and in. Rafer Alston, the 6th-year player out of Fresno State, signing a 6-year free agent deal with the Raptors at the beginning of the season. Got 7 points to go along with the 6 assists. The shot clock is now unplugged. Iverson in breakdown mode gives it up. McKee thinking 3, dips it and misses, and that'll do it. Both teams averaging around 100 points per game. 76ers basketball tonight here on Comcast Sportsnet, being brought to you in part by your local Chevy dealer, Chevy and American Revolution. Our trivia question tonight brought to you by Aflac. What current Sixers have triple doubles as Sixers? Andre Iguodala. It's amazing, Steve. You mentioned it at the top. First Sixer rookie in a half century to hit for a triple-double. And he also had in that game 4 steals and no turnovers. But it's too narrow-minded to just look at that game. I mean, all year he's been steady. He's played defense, plays the game intelligently. One stat that I really like, and this is a great stat for any rookie playing any position, almost as many steals as turnovers for the season.
And how about his assist-to-turnover ratio the last 6 games, almost 4-1. So you talk about the 4 steals and the assists and everything else. And I'm telling you what, the kid puts together a great game night in and night out.
How effective is that in a game?
From a player standpoint,
yes.
I think that's extremely important from a coach's standpoint and a teammate standpoint. That not only can you set up your teammates, but you can get the basketball back and you can also, when needed, knock down some shots.
Sixers here need to knock one down. John Salmons will give it a try. Salmons did not play in the Sixers' last game. In here, though, to begin the second quarter. And it will belong to the Toronto Raptors. Palacio in for the first time, taking a seat. Rafer Alston played very well his first 13 minutes of the game. 7.7 assists, the 7 assists tying his season's average. So Palacio in for the first time. Danielle Marshall's at it again, my friends.
Just overplaying. I know what the defensive scheme is, but just overplaying. I mean, Bonner's not going to be able to drive by a whole lot. He's a three-point shooter and jump shooter as well.
Rodney Rogers thinking three. Rogers, after a nice start since the trade from New Orleans, struggling in his previous two, just nicking the rim there is D'Alembert. They're going to get a goaltend, I believe, here. Scored 2 and a foul.
Ball was long gone out of the fingertips of Williams. Take a look at that. I think there's no question about it. The official had to make that call. Ball on its downward flight right there. That's a good call by the official. There's another guy. Williams just doesn't get a whole lot of time either.
He's been on the injured list. In fact, they just activated him. Eric Williams, the veteran out of Providence. Back earlier this season, he was upset at the lack of playing time. The Raptors now ripped off 10 straight. They lead it by 6. Rogers off the double team. Salmon setting up McKee, but hold everything. Don't count the basket. Foul here on the aforementioned Eric Williams. That'll be his first. And the Sixers now with 14 to shoot. Eric Williams once played for Jim O'Brien. Boston Celtics. Rogers, who also played for the Boston Celtics under Jim O'Brien. Here the Raptors now leading by 6. Opening moments of the second quarter. Teaming tonight with Michael Barkan and my partner Steve Mix. There's Salmons hustling after it along with rookie Matt Bonner. And in fact, they rule in favor of Toronto.
You know what? Bonner was the one that strolled over to pick up the basketball. Take a look. Looked like it went off of Bonner's fingertips, and then he strolls over. Johnny Salmons did not. So the official looked and said, well, it must have gone off of John.
Bonner, pretty good outside shooter.
He leads all rookies in field goal percentage from 2 and 3.
Sixers running Iverson with McKee. Salmons, who has it now, the small forward. Rogers, the power forward. D'Alembert in the middle. Iverson from the far reaches. It's Palacio along with Eric Williams. Marshall. Bosch, the forwards. And Bonner in there as well. On Salmons quickly picking up 2 personal fouls.
And the Sixers not getting anything off their bench. Toronto Raptors are. The Toronto Raptors bench this year doing a great job, averaging about 36 plus points per game. Last year they were dead last in the league at a little over 18 points per game. So they've been able to improve in that category.
So Chris Webber, after a short rest, back in, and he's in to get Samuel D'Alembert. Sammy sitting, 4 points, 4 rebounds. And Mil Palacio actually experiencing one of the better seasons of his career shooting the ball. Career backup out of Colorado State. And a 12-0 Raptor push here over about the last 3 minutes. Iverson makes a left at the light. Scrambles after the miss, doesn't get it. Bosch passes it up for a Bonner 3. Bonner, a very good three-point shooter. Rookie out of Florida, 6'10", 240. Salmons teeing up a 3, and down it goes for John Salmons, who coming into the game had missed 6 straight from the floor. His previous 2 games, in fact, the Sixers as a team in this game had missed 5 straight for the Salmons field goal. Rogers right on Marshall.
See, that's what happens when Bonner has the basketball, because he's not going to be able to put the ball on the floor and get by it. So move out on Marshall and don't let him get his shots.
Over 8.5 to play. We're in the first half tonight. John Salmons hitting the 3 moments ago to make it a 5-point game. Back with more on a
Back at the Wachovia Center, Sixers trailing by 5. We go around the league and check on some key scores that might affect the Sixers by night's end. Chicago and Boston just underway. Boston, of course, has been on a run. They're in the 3rd seed spot in the East. But Indiana, Detroit, that's the rematch of that November bloodbath in which several players were suspended. Indiana, the 7th seed in the East, And if the Sixers were to win tonight, Indiana loses. The Sixers would overtake the Pacers by virtue of their 3-0 record against the Pacers so far this season. And it's a big difference, Mark and Steve, between contending against Miami and contending against Detroit.
All right, thank you, Michael Barkan. That look around the NBA brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Bonner teeing up a 3, nothing doing. Sixers have it down 5. Sixers trailing the number 6 seed Chicago by 2.5. Trailing Boston for the lead in the Atlantic by 4.5. Sixers still with 2 games remaining against the Celtics next month. Bosch with about half a foot on Salmons, but gives it up. Williams had it interrupted by Salmons inside. Iverson for 3. Yes! Well, the Sixers with their own fine display of 3-point shooting here in the first quarter.
Well, those last 5 games where Allen's scored 30 or more, he's been shooting 34.5% from beyond the arc, which is above his season's average of just under 31.
Rogers off the miss by Bosch. Here the Sixers get tired going front. Iverson looking back at Salmons, then drives into Palacio. No Palacio, the personal foul. His first, second on the team.
Nice little pass over from John Salmons to AI for another Southwest long distance shot. 76ers 4 of 6 from beyond.
Allen now halfway to the 26 he needs to catch James Worthy on the all-time scoring list. Sixers here with a fresh 24. It's Iverson going for 3 of them, claiming he was fouled. The whistle was late, but only to signal the ball out of bounds, and Iverson's got an earful for playing right cut. Sixers, in spite of that miss, 4 of 8 from beyond. And they're down to deuce, trailing by as many as 8 just a few moments ago. It has been a first half of runs. In fact, we've had already 10 lead changes in the game. Sixers trying to lock all windows and doors. Bosch pushing himself through a door, and now he'll continue his trip to the line. Bosch was fouled by Aaron McKee. Sixers now at the team foul limit. Raptors have been out of the playoffs since 2002. 2002, the year after they lost to the Sixers in the conference semis. Now famous Game 7 here at the Wachovia Center as Andre Iguodala will come back. And it's in for John Salmons. Salmons the only bench points for the Sixers. He's got 3 on a 3.
Been out of this year's playoffs since last summer.
Well,
it's a long time, and especially when you got a guy like Vince Carter on your team and you're not making the playoffs. You know what?
You know, it's funny. They struggled last year. They couldn't score. They went out, got themselves some scores. Brand new coach. They're scoring plenty. They're still struggling.
Just can't stop anybody.
Including Chris Webber, who's got a dozen, 6 of 9 from the floor here in the first half. Webber averaging 20 on the season, 14.5 as a Sixer. As going to the paint again, Palacio, but he missed inside. Sixers can tire going front. Iguodala for Webber, who slams for 2. Partner, that's basketball.
Exactly right. That's the kind of touch pass that Andre Iguodala can deliver.
Sixers have been great in recent games off the fast break, and this year off the fast break against Toronto, as Marshall missed the 3. Leaking Iguodala. Iverson with an eye on him, but too many Toronto Raptors in the way. As Allen takes a hit, it would have counted. And he will go to the line for the 7th and 8th times here in the first half.
Take a look at our Dodge drive of the game off the miss by Palacio. Keep an eye on Andre running here behind the back, bam, right to Chris Webber for the 2-hand jam. 3 guys touch the ball on the fast break. Beautiful play by the Sixers. They tied it up.
And it caps a 10-2 run.
I'm Kevin Willis.
Sammy to lunch. It's easy with a Samuel Dallenberg lunchbox, free to the first 5,000 kids 12 and under on Wednesday, April 6th. The Sixers in Charlotte, courtesy of Subaru, those lunchboxes are. Call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or log on to the Sixers official website, Sixers.com.
Take a look at the 76ers one more time, coming right at you. AI pushing the basketball behind the back, the touch pass to Weber for the deuce. And the 76ers, 3 of their last 6 from the floor while holding Toronto to 0 for their last 5.
It has been a first half of runs. Now an opportunity for the running Sixers. Had one more at the line. Iverson, the only Sixer to get to the line here in the first half.
Well, you know Toronto's going to give up some points. You have a great opportunity to get to that 100 mark. 76ers in the first 3 games averaging 107 against Toronto. They're 28th in the league as far as points allowed. Only Atlanta and Phoenix give up more. The difference with Phoenix is they have a 7-point differential between their offense and defense.
They're good. They're
yes, they are good.
At home, aren't they? It'll be next Wednesday.
Looking forward to seeing them out there.
Sixers by 2 thanks to a 12-2 push. There's Alston back into the game, taking Iguodala. And the foul on Andre Iguodala. First on him, Sixers in the penalty. They've accrued 5. Skip to Mylou, they called him. Playground legend out of Queens, New York, Rafer Alston.
Rucker Park legend.
You know, growing up, he used to watch Pistol Pete tapes, believe it or not.
I've got some of those. One of my all-time favorite players, Pistol Pete.
What's on those tapes?
Me scoring them. No. No, he had a lot of tapes out. Ball handling, shooting, etc. He had about 4 or 5 tapes out.
Is it time to tell the story of dribbling the ball outside his dad's car at 50 miles an hour?
Not yet.
Weber trying to bait Marshall. It would have counted. Chris Weber in the midst of an excellent first half will go to the line looking for his 15th and 16th points of this first half. Personal Marshall, his first, 4th on the Raptors. So they're at the team foul limit.
Tonight, a great 1-2 punch for Weber and Iverson. Kind of like the numbers that both of those players have put up so far.
That was the plan, right?
Yep, that's the plan. AI with 15. Take a look at that. 30 points all told. Rest of the team 17. Does make it a little bit easier for the rest of the guys when those 2 guys are scoring. You get some cleaner looks as you take a look at the field goal percentage. 49% in the first 3 games against Toronto. That's exactly what the 76ers shot. 49%.
Jalen Rose back into the game. Marshall for 3, and down it goes. Donyell Marshall hitting his 4th 3 in 5 attempts. He's got a dozen. He's their leading scorer coming off the bench. We're on the seesaw now with Toronto up 1. Weber wants it here against Marshall. Well, all she can do is make him work. As Chris squares for 2, and down it goes as Weber and Allen Iverson work that pick and pop beautifully in 10.
See, I'm not sure if I would have gone to the 2-man game. I may have just tried to post him up, try to pick up another personal foul on him. You got the jump shot, but sometimes you got to just try and get that personal foul on the opponent.
Weber with 18 points already. Rose throws up a prayer, searching for the call. Out of bounds it goes, and Toronto will have it. Jim O'Brien, at least by his look, questioning the call. Made by the baseline official, Blaine Reichelt. Raptors here left with 7 to shoot. There's Rogers fouling Marshall. Sixers in the penalty, 2 at the line for Donyell Marshall.
Marshall playing in high gear for the Raptors tonight. Remember your history lesson, don't you? The Marshall plan?
As you would say, partner, absolutely. Here's Marshall, had the career-high 38. The last time the teams met, did not go to the line at all in that game.
That's what was amazing about that game. You take a look at the end of the box score in the fourth quarter. 76ers lost by 18. Here's a guy who took 19 threes, made 12 of them, and never went to the line. Somebody's got to knock him to the hardwood once. Now, in high school and college, you can't do that, but in the NBA, somebody got to knock him down.
It is a 50-50 proposition. 4 and change to go. Here in the first half, Iverson stumbles forth, goes out of bounds. The turnover, give it back to Toronto.
And that's his 4th turnover in the first half.
The Sixers 18 total of only 5. Allen wincing somewhat coming up. Appears to be grabbing at his left hand or his left wrist. He comes back on defense. Now he's grabbing at it again, and he's doubled over. 3:52 to go here in the first half. Sixers here, the defensive 3-second violation, their second. Jalen Rose just 3 points. Again, he's their leading scorer for the season, averaging 18. As Iverson, you wonder with that left thumb, which he said even as late as Wednesday, really continues to bother him. That's the one he suffered a chip fracture in against the Lakers Tuesday a week ago. Take a timeout with the Raptors up 1.
Keep an eye as he starts to fall right here. That left thumb hits the floor. Got a little weight on it, and that probably pushes the thumb back a little bit, which causes a little irritation. And that was the thumb that he had that chip fracture in. You can see being pulled up by his right hand. And that's going to be like that for a while, Mark.
Michael Barkan, what do you know?
Zooey sat there dispassionately during the timeout. Jim O'Brien instructing the troops. Allen just seemed to look ahead. And then as he got up to take the court, took the towel that he had been holding and threw it down in seeming disgust. So we'll see what happens here.
Well, he is playing without any kind of protective device. He had the opportunity to play with it. But after he hurt that thumb, game in Cleveland, as Marshall goes in, slams for 2 and a foul. But Allen did away with that protective device after missing his first 4 shots of the game.
Great play coming out of the timeout, setting it up for Marshall. Normally you think he's going to take the 3, but nice little screen by Rose, and that opens up the baseline drive. One more look at just taking it right to the rack and throwing it down.
Marshall, their leading scorer, now with 16. Sixers down 4 under 4 to play first half. Weber spotting. Rare miss for him. He's 8 of 12 even with that miss. Palacio back. In fact, he joins another point guard, ready for Alston in the backcourt. Alston finds the plunging Bonner, who got it back. That's Alston wide open for 3. And in the scrap between Weber, Bonner, and Iguodala, the foul results. And it is on the rookie out of Florida for the Raptors, Matt Bonner. From former presidents to legendary Hall of Famers, Mickey Vernon gets you up close and personal. Don't miss this unique 3-part series, Capital Treasure, the discovery of legendary films, starting Wednesday night on Sports Night, exclusively on Comcast Sportsnet. So the Raptors here in the penalty. We walk the floor. And Andre Iguodala going to the line for the first time. Chris Bosh returning for Toronto. In to get Bonner. Bonner just 1 of 5. Usual for him. He is a 55% shooter from the field this year. Sixers perfect from the line tonight, 12 of 12. Down to Deuce. Now Bosh working over Weber. And a foul on the floor really doesn't matter because the Sixers in the penalty anyway, so free throws coming. Chris Webber, personal number 2. No one in the game with more than 2 personal fouls. Under 3 to go here in the first half.
Interesting move by Bosch that time. The jab going to the baseline, which was Chris Webber's right knee, and then came back to challenge the left knee, the one that's been a little injured for him. So anytime you're an offensive player and you know players have a weakness here or there or a little injury, you want to attack those injuries.
That's Rose off the missed free throw by Bosch. So the Raptors get it back. Bosch wants Webber again, and Alston obliges.
Once again, he goes right to the spin move for the jump shot to the left knee.
4th pick in the draft a couple of years ago. And the likes of LeBron James, Darko Milicic, Carmelo Anthony. Bosch with 11 in the game. Webber taking him. Here are the Raptors by 4. That's Rose for Jordan. And McKee has it for the Sixers. Dalembert over Bosch. Got it. All cotton for Samuel Dalembert, who's got 6, averaging 8 now on the season. Sixers have played well this year with Sammy as a starter. 25 and 20 in 45 games. Dalembert starting in the pivot. Iguodala trying to take the charge. Ball coming our way as the Raptors turn it over. Just 5 turnovers apiece here. Just over 90 seconds to go in this first half. Iverson has Palacio zoning up Bosch. Wide open Chris Webber. So you'd think with the way Webber's hitting his jumper here in the first half, the Raptors would pay closer attention. But Chris pacing the Sixers now with 20.
Well, Bosch went over to the low side to the other opposite block to prevent AI from driving baseline, and Chris just went up to the free throw line.
Rose for 3, rimmed it. Rose struggling in the first half, just 1 of 7. Sixers now look to go in front under a minute to play before the break. Key, Iguodala. Nice. What a look by Andre Iguodala to Dalembert.
Once again, the outstanding pass by Andre Iguodala. Keep an eye on Iggy coming in right there. The nice little cut and the one-hand pass to Samuel Dalembert for the jam.
Just playing the game.
Yeah, it really is. That's just finding the open man. The more you play with your teammates out on the court, the better off you are. You just get to know each other. You know the plays. You get that familiarity with everybody. Just makes for life to be a little bit easier.
Chris Webber twice now going off to hearty applause here in the first half, and why not? He's got 20 points. 4 away from his Sixers season high. He arrived at that figure shooting 9 of 14. The Sixers 7-0 run. Yet another sprint by somebody. In a first half full of runs. The Sixer lead at 3. Alston finds Bosch, but Dalembert is patrolling, but Chris Bosch has his way anyway. Bosch with 13, he averages 16. At a 12-second difference between the clocks. Sixers have to rush for the 2 possessions for 1, and Iverson gallops in and gets 2. And now a 6-second difference between the clocks. So the Sixers now looking for that final possession. Holding 3. And another high-scoring affair between these 2 teams. Dalembert had it and lost it. Raptors here can run the clock out, but Marshall always feeling good, drops another 3. Man.
With just some teams you can just light up. It seems like for Marshall, it's Philadelphia this season.
Marshall hitting his 5th 3 of the first half. Time running out in the Sixers, and that'll do it.
And the first half.
Donyell Marshall with 19 points in a 16-minute run off the bench. Chris Webber standing tall from the beginning. A total of 20 points. Excellent shooting. Many of those field goals coming from the outside off of a two-man game with Allen Iverson. AI and the Sixers are tied with Toronto here at the break. Coming up, the Taco Bell halftime report. 61-61 our score. More on Comcast Sportsnet after this. Good pursuit of the basketball by D'Alembert, who hustles it down. Korver already with a pair of threes in the game as Iverson goes knifing in and gets the layup. Allen with 19. Sixers forge ahead by a bucket as Iguodala guides it to Korver. And Webber very comfortable on the open floor. Korver for Iguodala on a rope, and he slammed it for two. A great look by Kyle for his fourth time of the night.
Well, that's a super play, isn't it? Once again, you see the youngsters hooking up.
Iguodala 3 of 3. The Sixers shooting over 53%. Here's Williams, who was 3 for 3 in the first half. Now 4 of 4. So Aaron Williams in the game with 9. That's a season high for him. His previous season high 7. Previous Raptors season high 4, but he was barely getting minutes. Webber rimmed it. Bosch wants D'Alembert inside. Rose gives it a look. Now only 4 to shoot. Alston. 65-63, the Sixers, who nearly turned it over. Iverson for 3. Tonight, the Raptors starting long road trip. 5 straight in all. Tomorrow, they're in action at Atlanta. They have struggled on the road this year, though, giving the Sixers their money's worth tonight. As D'Alembert fouls Chris Bosh. Sammy his second. D'Alembert, as you know, could be foul prone. Jim O'Brien always with an eye on that. As Chris Bosh will go to the line for the 6th and 7th times in this game. After tomorrow's game at Atlanta, Toronto heading to Miami, Orlando, and then ending their trip at Charlotte against the Bobcats. Only 7 victories in 33 road games this year for Toronto. That's 25th out of 30 NBA teams. Sixer lead at 1. Sixers with great success this year at home against fellow Eastern Conference foes. Webber in rhythm for 2. Steve, all night long he's had the rhythm.
Yeah, he really has, and I like what he's doing. He's just catching on the reverse pivot and just without hesitating taking the shot.
Chris with 22, 2 away from a Sixers season high. Alston right on Korver, always thinking 3. Iguodala trying to bust up Rose. A nice find of D'Alembert, who dropped it. Nicely done by Andre Iguodala, setting up D'Alembert, who's got 11.
And had his feet set underneath him, doing a nice job of getting the shot in balance like he has been about the last few weeks or so. He was able to knock down the shot and give the Sixers a 5-point spread.
Coming 3-game Western trip, they will be back home. That'll be Friday, April 1st against the Dallas Mavericks. Tickets for that game or any 76er home game available by calling 1-800-4NBA-TICKS or paying a visit to the Sixers official website, Sixers.com. Hip-hop celebrating after this. All in a night's work.
One of those Metal Lark lemon shots with the Globies.
Hip Hop joins us all through the summer during the Sixers Summer Hoops Tour, and he'll make that a good percentage of the time. He'd surprise you. It gyms around the Delaware Valley and playgrounds.
Rose now just 1 for 10.
Iverson somehow got it to Iguodala, who hesitated just a bit, and then the whistle. It's a great job by Allen Iverson, working hard to set up Iguodala, who waited just a second.
Watch AI driving through the middle. Nice little drop off pass to Andre, and the foul on Rose. See, Rose is going to 1 for 10. He's going to continue to take the outside shots. If you're Jalen Rose, you probably want to go down and post up a little bit as Andre misses the first one.
Jalen Rose, go ahead, partner.
Anytime you have a percentage like that, and my theory and philosophy is anytime you miss 2 or 3 jump shots, you've got to do something different. You got to drive to the hoop. You've got to get an offensive rebound. You've got to get to the free throw line.
That's got to be everybody's theory.
Absolutely. Or it should be. But it isn't always here in the NBA. See a lot of guys going 4 for 20. Right now, Jalen 1 for 10.
Sixers putting together a nice little run to lead by 6 for the first time. Dallenberg eyes up Bosch. Taken away from him, and as Aaron Williams got it back, a whistle. A foul here on the Raptors, Aaron Williams. It's 3 on tonight's starting center for Toronto. And he is the first player in the game to pick up a 3rd personal. How many turnovers in this game? Korver, call for the travel. So add 1 to the Sixers' meager total. They're 7th. They lead here by 6, 70-64. Iguodala strapped on the Rose, and for the 3rd time tonight, the Sixers whistled for defensive 3-second violation.
Boy, that was a quick 3-second call by the official. Holy cow.
This one specifically on the Sixers' Samuel Dallenberg. And Rose, about the only way he's getting points tonight is by way of technical free throws.
5 for 8 from the line now. Or, I mean, take a look at Jalen Rose. 3 for 3 from the free throw.
Only 5 points. It's the margin for the Sixers. Peterson teeing up a 3. Missed it. The Sixers have at least held Morris Peterson in check. Averaging over 20, shooting over 50% against the Sixers. The first 3 games of the season series as Dallenberg had it blocked. Alston got it. Alston's played well. 11 points, 9 assists.
The last 4 games, he's averaged 15, but shot just 34%, which is below his season's number of a little over 40.
The Sixers defending the Raptors nicely here, and in fact, that defense there by Chris Bosch, a little too zealous, and he has called for the goaltend. Score 2 for AI, and the free throw coming up.
AI with the drive. Take a look at Bosch coming up with the goaltend. AI the bucket and completes the 3-point play.
Personal also on Bosch, just his first. 3 on the Toronto team. The Sixers only 1 team foul. Sixers back by 6 again. Dallenberg helping Iverson with the elusive Rafer Alston. For Sammy, it's personal number 3. The Sixers, their 2nd team foul. Raptors back to work here with 14 to shoot. Peterson turned it over. Weber had to give it up to Korver. Now Dallenberg.
The last 2 shots that Sammy has taken, not in balance. But Rafer Alston now is starting to get in balance a little bit. This has pulled his team to within 4.
Alston playing with his 4th NBA team in his 6th year NBA career. Iverson, that's for three. Got it. Allen Iverson drains the three, and for AI, his second of the night for the Sixers, their fifth in 11 tries as Iverson tried to fight around the screen, which would not move, and he was plastered.
Aaron Williams with the tough screen on AI, and Austin with a little 14-foot jump shot.
Give him 15 for the game. Weber got it. With that stroke, Chris Weber tying his Sixers season high of 24, 11 of 17 from the floor. Dallenberg the steal, as Bosch ran it down for the Raptors. We have a foul called here on Rafer Alston of Toronto.
Take a look at C-Webb now, just the reverse pivot, which creates a little space. He's able to get that nice jump shot off.
The jumper has been falling sweetly tonight. Bosch rolling in, meeting with some resistance, never had the handle. And the Toronto turnover results, they're 9th. Sixers do lead the NBA in forcing turnovers. And Toronto with 6 of their 9 turnovers here in the third quarter. Here's Korver here against the point guard, Alston. Sixers still leading by 7, 78-71, though the Raptors charging in, and Alston had it swiped away. Weber and Iguodala running down Rafer Alston. Raptors get it back here with 19 to shoot. Bosch wants Weber inside. Alston obliges. Bosch likes to put it on the floor, also with a pretty good touch. And he drops in the jumper. Chris Bosch now with 16 and 12 rebounds.
And for Chris Bosch, his 26th double-double of the season.
Weber again. Steve, you mentioned it. Shooting in rhythm all night, and Weber, a Sixer season-high 26 points.
He's not hesitating whatsoever. In previous ball games, he was catching, hesitating. And now, you know what? You just gain the confidence, and the more you take those shots during the course of the game and practice, the more you feel comfortable with that. You get in the game and say, you know what? I'm just going to take it.
But a duo, Weber and Iverson, have been tonight as Bosch answers back. For Alston, by the way, on that play, his 10th assist. Weber, now Marshall back into the game, and Chris Weber behind the back as that one go out of bounds.
That's a great pass if everybody's looking.
Sixers one fewer turnover than the opponent. Charging in, Morris Peterson, and he lays it in. Peterson only his second field goal, only his 4th point tonight, playing in his 265th consecutive game, the longest active streak in the NBA. Iverson got it, and with that, he passes James Worthy on the all-time NBA scoring list. He is now 69th in NBA history and climbing. For the game, he's got 27. That's Dallenberg off the Rose miss. And Sammy was shoved away by Peterson. AI continues to pass players subsequent milestones. Now taking aim at current president of basketball operations for the Detroit Pistons, Joe Dumars. Allen Iverson moments ago against these Raptors. The Sixer lead at 5, just under 2.5 to go here in the third quarter. analysis of this game, including player interviews, comments from the coaches, as Dodge presents Sixers Post-Game Live. That'll be after the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Taking a look at AI working off the screen, then puts the afterburners on with the spin, the hang, and the bucket passes James Worthy.
And he is the, go ahead, partner, active leader in points per game.
Had a Shaq Carter, Paul Pierce, and Tim Duncan.
And he's in good company all time. Fourth all time in NBA history in scoring average. Now Samuel Dalembert stepping to the stripe for the Sixers. After the last Toronto foul on Jalen Rose. Puts the Raptors in the penalty. And for Rose, his second. Chris Webber, well-deserved rest, already with 26. That's Sixers season high. Sometimes, Steve, as you make progress, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Do you get the hang of it?
Yeah. And Jim O'Brien, the coaching staff, can see the progress that everybody's making. They see him in practice every day. They chart it all the time, and you end up taking a look at the numbers and saying, okay, we can see the improvement.
Rodney Rogers and his Aaron McKee. Boy, the Sixer defense there was stifling, particularly around the lane area, as they formed a web, if you will, and Aaron McKee made a nice defensive play to prevent the Raptors from scoring any points. The Sixer lead at 6 under 2 minutes now remaining here in the third. The Raptors already with as many turnovers in the third quarter as they had the entire first half, as Rodney Rogers in a bit of a shooting slump. He is 0 for 3 and struggling really over the last 2.5 games. The Sixers, however, will get it back.
Last 2 ball games, averaging 2-point shooting, just 11%, 1 for 9 in those 2 games. In 12 minutes of play tonight, struggling once again, 0 for 3.
That said, really improved his field goal percentage, his 3-point percentage since the trade from New Orleans. Right at the trade deadline last month. Dalembert hesitating. Ditto Rogers. Now he puts it on the floor. Falls hard to the floor. Whistle silent. Well, Steve, much the way you had commented earlier, as Donyell Marshall hits another 3. Oh, by the way, but getting back to Rodney Rogers for a second, missing some outside shots. He did try to take it inside that time.
Well, that shows me, as good as he's been shooting the basketball, he's starting to think about his outside shot. But yeah, you're absolutely right. He ended up taking it to the hoop, which is good to see. Not
to ignore Rogers now, has 6 threes and shooting 7 of 8 from the floor in all, as Iverson goes stumbling forth. Dalembert put it back, and he hung in the air to do so. Dalembert's got 14, nearly twice his season's average. Final 40 seconds of the third, as Alston allowed to drift all the way in the cleanup job by Chris Bosh. Bosh with 20 and 14 rebounds. The 14 boards, 3 away from his career high. Korver missing the 3. Shot clock now unplugged. The Raptors can tie with a 3. They have 7 of those already. Vast majority coming from Donyell Marshall, who's doing it again. Yeah, the Sixers had a foul to give, and Iverson reaching out as Jalen Rose made the move with 4.3 to go as the Raptors add yet another shooter here in the closing seconds of the third. John Salmons, the reaction of Jim O'Brien as Bonner comes in. Iverson going out as well. .3 to go. Bonner, Marshall for 3. Well, at least he missed. Otherwise, Donyell Marshall, 7 of 9 in all. 6 of those 7 made field goals threes. He's been terrific once again off the bench. So Toronto's Marshall plan working very well as they ring the perimeter, and Donyell, the Reading, Pennsylvania native, has been very successful once again from beyond the arc. That said, the Sixers do have a 3-point lead after 3. We'll have the fourth quarter right after this. '76ers basketball on Comcast Sportsnet, brought to you in part by Lexus, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Tonight we are through 3 here on Comcast Sportsnet, along with Michael Barkan tonight and the Mayor Steve Mintz, Mark Zumoff. Courtside, bringing you all the action. Sixers leading since the second quarter. They take a 3-point lead now into the fourth.
And here's that zone we were talking about in the first half for Toronto.
And Iverson and Weber have been so terrific together and apart at times, both starting the fourth quarter on the bench. The Sixers will retain possession here with a fresh 24.
Kyle Korver with the shot clock running down, comes right at Williams, leaves it just a little bit short. Right into the living room. Sonny Hill into the living room on Sunday morning.
Sixers here with a fresh 24, but D'Alembert with ideas, missing inside. There's Alston running with Palacio in the backcourt, both technically points. Bonner, Marshall, and Williams up front. Bonner missing, and McKee goes after that miss.
0 for 4 from beyond the arc for Bonner.
This guy's done well against everybody else this year as Korver misses the 3. Loose ball, Korver to the wood. Palacio diving into a crowd, and he'll go to the line.
Fouls on Aaron McKee, that's his second.
Sixer foul, Aaron McKee. Sixers running McKee along with John Salmons, Rogers, and Korver the forward. Samuel D'Alembert in the middle. And Allen Iverson and Chris Webber, who have 53 of the Sixers' 85 points tonight. Both come back in tandem, as does Josh Davis for the first time. Rogers, Korver, D'Alembert all take seats. Josh Davis now experiencing action in 9 straight games. D'Alembert sitting, by the way, 14 points, 7 boards, a block shot.
Jim O'Brien feeling that maybe Josh Davis a little better matchup as long as Toronto's going to that zone. Give another shooter.
Sixers by a deuce. Iverson sneaks through the back door, opened up by Chris Webber. Those two have worked well tonight. Allen now at 29. Webber, his 3rd assist of the evening. Marshall with another 3. Davis, the latecomer. Marshall missing badly. Sixers miss an opportunity for the breakaway. The Raptors work it inside to Marshall, and he's fouled. The Sixers come up with that loose ball. They might have had a breakaway as we bring you the McDonald's small fry of the game. There he is, dressed in his Sixers stuff. McDonald's. I'm loving it. Hope you're loving the action tonight here at the Wachovia Center. Sixers looking for their 2nd straight win, their 4th in their last 5. Chris Bosh coming in, and he's in for the point guard Alston. That'll swing Palacio to the point guard spot to handle the ball. In the backcourt with a 6'8" Eric Williams. Donyell Marshall, who had a career-high 38 just 2 weeks ago against the Sixers, 23 tonight, averaging only 12 on the season. As Chris Webber, adding to his Sixers season high, he's got 28 points, and now within arm's length of his overall season high at 36. Marshall. And there's Bosh crashing again. He's got 15 rebounds. There's Marshall for 3. Not that time. So finally, Marshall showing his humanity. Unbelievable the last time the teams met. Up into this fourth quarter, hitting nearly all of his shots. Salmon's cut off. Weber behind the back to McKee, but Bosch is there. Salmon's for three. Got it! Sixers on that possession, just hooping, my friends, as Salmons hits his second three of the night for the Sixers, their sixth. As the crowd really got into Chris Webber's behind-the-back pass, and the Sixers kept the orange hot, and it ended up with John Salmons hitting the three, put the Sixers up 8. A timeout just into this fourth and final quarter.
Just trying to break it open here at the Wachovia Center, and if they do, it might be because of AI and C-Web. You check out the numbers as we take a look at our Jeep storyline. Iverson, Weber combining for 57 points. Rest of the team 35. Donyell Marshall strong again from beyond the arc, 23 points on 6 of 10 shooting. Zoo.
Michael Barkan with the storyline of the game, brought to you by Jeep. Here now the Raptors out of the timeout. They find Marshall, but he finds himself covered. And now a Sixer foul. Aaron McKee picks up personal number 3. And already 3 team fouls on the Sixers, not even 3 minutes into the final quarter. Bosch has had a good night. Now Salmon's on him. Marshall again. And again, it goes down. Donyell Marshall hits another 3. Count him, Steve, a 7th.
Well, the reason Marshall was so wide open, AI went for the steal on Bosch and didn't come up with it. That left Palacio wide open, who kicked it to Marshall. And as soon as AI didn't get the steal, everybody has to rotate one over. Marshall had a clean look at it.
Weber, that time had it picked off. But Chris getting a lot of touches tonight and making the most of them with his 28 points. Salmons takes that away. Iverson. Now the Sixers set it up. McKee for 3. Aaron has come on the last month or so to shoot 3 very well, among the NBA leaders, in fact, last year.
How about the last 25 games for Aaron McKee, shooting 52% from beyond the arc?
Well said. I'm impressed with the level of homework.
Well, if you want to go a little further, the first 42 games, here's a guy that had 7 denipsided, 6 games on the injured list, played 12 minutes, only 21% from beyond the arc. Just a little bit more homework for you.
And I need to translate denipsida. I mean,
DNPCD.
Did not play coach's decision. Marshall missing the 3. Williams shoving Salmons away. That's the reason for the whistle. Trivia question tonight, brought to you by Aflac. What current Sixers have triple doubles as Sixers? And I'm seeing 3. There they are. 2 AIs and Aaron McKee. Chris Webber, a ton in his career, and 4 this season, none as a Sixer, but he continues to play like this. It could be just a matter of time. He's got 30 points. Sixers open up, 7-point cushion. Palacio neatly deposits 2 around Aaron McKee. Palacio, the backup at point, his first field goal, he's got 5. Weber got caught in the air that time. He thought he had an opening there against Marshall, then changed his mind, and in doing so, turned it over. Only the 10th on Jim O'Brien's team. They forced 12 on the Raptors.
1 free middle.
Sixers up 5. Bosch lost it. Weber sends away Iverson. (94-89) the Sixers. And another touch for Weber. He's already gotten more in this game, Steve, I think, than in any game this year, as he missed for one of the few times tonight. And there's Aaron McKee hoping for a steal, but instead he commits the foul. By the way, Chris Bosh just coming down with a 17th rebound. It ties his career high. And McKee committing number 4, also the 4th team foul, as Eric Williams takes a seat. Struggling Jalen Rose comes back. Bosh with 20 points to go along with the 17 rebounds. Andre Iguodala is in to get John Salmon. Salmon's playing well off the bench, both offensively and defensively. Bosh over Weber. That is one good-looking young talent. Chris Bosh with 22 and 17. He scores 20 or more this year. The Raptors are 15 and 5. Past the halfway point of the final quarter as Weber got it to Iverson, who dropped it. What a pass by Chris Weber for his 4th assist. He had a paper-thin opener. Allen's got 31. The shots between them tonight nearly even. Iverson with 22 taken, Weber with 21, as Palacio drops 2. Raptors hanging out. It's a 3-point game. The Sixers in front. Toronto's last lead coming late in the 2nd quarter. Weber again. Rimmed it. Now Weber's got to deal with Bosh. Under 5 to play final quarter. Davis thinking 3. Gives it up for Iguodala. Follows his own miss. Look at Andre Iguodala going after it big time. And in fact, the Sixers will keep it largely due to the hustle of the Sixers' outstanding rookie, Andre Iguodala. Allen Iverson with 31. Chris Weber with 30. That's a Sixers season high. Sixers by 3, under 5 to play in the final quarter. We'll be back. New season, new gear, new store. If you're looking for the latest in Sixers gear, make sure you log on to the Sixers brand new team store, shop.sixers.com. Get all the official Sixers gear, the jerseys, shorts, hats, and more at shop.sixers.com. Ask Mark and Steve, brought to you by Canon Business Solutions. Chad and Carol from Cherry Hill emailing us tonight. What is Chris Weber's career high in points? 51 big ones, coming as a member of the Kings. January 5th, 2001 against those Indiana Pacers. Weber with a Sixers season high of 30. 6 away from his season high of 36. Bosh pirouettes into the lane. And he is fouled. Puts the Sixers in the penalty here. Michael Barkan with more tonight on another Sixer achievement.
I've got an Ask Mark and Steve for you. The last time the 2 Sixers combined for 30 or more points in a game. And who was it? Well, we know who one was, as Bosh is his first.
It would be January of 04. Allen Iverson and the since departed Glenn Big Dog Robinson.
I'll be on the bus.
Michael, you got to come stronger. You're not here that often. You got to come stronger. Great performance by those two tonight. Still work to be done. Iverson now streaking off the ball. Ready for Alston back into the game. Allen trying to create something, make it happen. Finally, here's the whistle that he has been desiring now for some time, and he will go to the line for the 10th and 11th times in the game. Personal foul rate for Alston, number 4.
You know what I like about Allen Iverson here in the second half? At halftime, 4 of 12, 17 points, 5 turnovers. He's got 14 points here in the second half, 6 of 10 from the floor. Zip on the turnovers, taking care of the basketball. And when you give your team those extra possessions, huge difference. 76ers only 10 turnovers on the night.
Many times when coaches break it down, it's all about possessions. as you get from rebounding, not turning the ball over. Marshall and finally Davis glued to him. The fans appreciative of that. Marshall unable to get it off, and there's Iverson to rip it off. Weber open. It remains 98-95, the Sixers. Just over 3.5 to go, final quarter. Alston trying to set up Bonner, a Sixer hand in the way. Now Bosch, he's been the bailout guy here in the second half. Weber getting a piece of the rock. Solid defensive play by Chris Weber. Iguodala for three. Sixers not shooting the three ball after intermission as they did before halftime. They're holding three, and McKee thought he had a clean steal. Instead, he is whistled for the foul. It'll be number 5. Sixer lead at 3, under 3 to go. Home games remaining, but they've gotten creative for you. They have devised a number of different ticket plans to get you in for the stretch drive to the playoffs. Call right now, get all the information. You might be surprised. 215-339-7676, the number. 215-339-7676. Well, the vision that the Sixers had when they acquired Chris Weber very much in focus tonight, with Iverson having his 33 and Weber his 30. But still, the game very much up for grabs. The Sixers would love to capture this, continue their great record at home against the East, and get a home victory before going out west for 3 beginning Sunday at LA against the Lakers. Jalen Rose, who is their best free throw shooter on the season, missing the first.
Does affect you a little bit, though, when you are 1 for 11 from the floor and you have to step to the free throw line. You do start thinking about that just a little bit as Rose missed the first free throw.
He has only 6. Remember, he's their leading scorer on the season, averaging 18. Under 3 to go, the Sixers up at deuce. Iverson off the ball. Alston has him marked. Now 8 to shoot. Allen had it stripped by Marshall. Rose tracked by Iguodala. Got it.
Rose made that crossover move going to his left. He was able to get that high arcer up off the glass as the Raptors now tied it up.
The Raptors getting into the open floor in this game. What a look, McKee for Davis, who missed the dunk. Oh, no.
Well, he's missed 2 wide open ones. A dunk there and a wide open layup on an out-of-bounds play earlier.
Now the Raptors looking for their first lead since the second quarter. They elect Rose, who's been struggling all night, and those struggles continue. Weber with a big rebound.
Boy, why are you going to him? What a silly play by Rose, just picking up the technical.
Indeed. Called by official Courtney Kirkland. He took his headband off and just threw it.
I mean, first of all, why are you going to Rose anyway? Knowing that he is struggling, why not go to Bosch? Why not go to a pick and roll? Why not find Marshall? Instead, take a look at Rose. Now he thought he got fouled and then just throws the headband.
So the technical free throw made by Iverson. He's 12 of 12 from the line. Sixers by 1. Weber. Yes! Weber, the Sixers season high 32. A huge field goal to put the Sixers up 3. And now Weber nearly stripped it away. Shot clock running down on the Raptors. 5 to go. Alston heaves a 3, and down it goes for Rafer Alston. Locks it up at 101. He's got 18 points. Weber again, allowing Iverson to run off the ball. Weber for the lead. We are tied at 101, just over a minute remaining. They go to Rose without that headband. Iguodala strapped to him. Rose for the lead. Weber, another rebound. Rose nearly stripped it away and in fact got it again, but knocked it out of bounds. And it will definitely go back to the Sixers in spite of the efforts of Jalen Rose against former Fab 5 teammate and good friend Chris Weber. We have a timeout with 51.7 to go, and the team's tied at 101. Chris Weber, offer your opinion. Go to the Sixers official website, Sixers.com. Answer our survey. It'll take just a couple of minutes. Don't forget the access code Sixers Survey, where your opinion counts, at the Sixers website, Sixers.com. Rafer Alston moments ago hitting a three to lock us up at 101.
9 for 25 from beyond the arc for Toronto. None bigger at this moment than that three by Alston. Now, if you're the Sixers, just go the two-man game like you have been going. No reason to go anywhere else. You're talking about guys combining for 66 points in Weber and AI.
Sixers have done well this year in close games, 8-4 in games decided by 3 or less. They go inside to Iguodala, had it stripped by Rose. What a play by Jalen Rose, and we have a whistle and a timeout. So Jim O'Brien setting up the rookie Andre Iguodala, going against Jalen Rose, who had the better of the first-year player. Sixers, when they score 100 this year, are 24-8. When the Raptors give up 100, they are just 5-31. Michael Barkan, what do you know?
Zoo may be overstating the obvious, but Jim O'Brien cautioning his guys, watch the drive. So they're going to try to drive on you. You got to watch that and make them pick it out.
And then kick to who? Marshall, who's been brilliant once again. We'll see. Bosch has been big as well. Rose has struggled, works over Iguodala, rimmed it, goes after the miss, and Andre comes down with a man's rebound. The clock separated by about a second or two. Locked at 101. It is Iverson against Rafer Alston as they rise here at the Wachovia Center.
And Toronto does have a foul to give.
Iverson for the lead. Yes!
Keep an eye on the shot clock right there. AI straight away. He's been feeling it all night long. 10 of 22 before that shot. AI with a chance to have his third game winner of the season. Great look by AI, just backing down the smaller defensive player, and Alston rises up, has a clean look at it. Bam!
The previous 2 game winners beat the clock, but there was a difference here between the clocks. So Iverson could not win it at the bell. He hit that game-winning jumper at that basket back on November 12th, then had the steal and layup for the overtime win against Washington on November 26th. Now he puts the Sixers up with 2.4 to go. Their lead at 2, 103-101. Now, if you're the Raptors, you try to tie it, or do you try to win it?
Well, you know what? You take a look at the record, 28-39. You're 7-26 on the road. You've already made a couple of mistakes as the coach. Go for the win if you're Toronto.
Of course, they have the three-point shooters to do it. Daniel Marshall unleashing his three-point fury on the Sixers. A good part of this night. 7 of them, and 7 of the 9 the Raptors have made. And of course, in these situations, many times, the guy throwing in the ball can be the most dangerous player, and it is Marshall about to throw it in.
And Jim O'Brien's telling Aaron McKee, I don't care where the ball goes, don't leave Marshall.
The Sixers holding 2.4 to go. Raptors still with a 20-second timeout. They get it to Rose. Rose for the tie. No, and the Sixers win it. The Sixers escape with a win as Allen Iverson hits the jumper with 2.4 to go to give the Sixers their second straight win and their fourth in their last 5.
Time now for the All-State good hands defensive play of the game, and Andre Iguodala forcing Jalen Rose to put a little more arc on the basketball. It goes long. Take a look at him coming across right there. Great job by Andre. Comes up a little long, and the 76ers escape with the W. Great job. And take a look at the bench. They're watching it. Yes!
Allen Iverson with the game winner, though the tandem of Iverson and Weber tremendous all night long, and particularly in the fourth quarter, where they hit 6 of the Sixers' 7 field goals. But how about a technical foul being our Toyota turning point of the game?
Silly technical foul on Rose, and then Rose 0 for 4 coming down the stretch.
Allen Iverson with Michael Barkan.
All right, Zoo, thank you very much. Your thoughts going down the court, 11 seconds left. You knew what you were going to do, right?
Yeah, I knew that I was going to try to take the last shot. If they tried to take it away from me or double team me, I was just going to put it in my teammates' hand. They didn't do it, and fortunately I was able to hit the shot.
What's the difference between 17 days ago and tonight, the way you played these guys?
I mean, we just adjusted a little better. They still got open threes. We played a different defense against them, as far as handling the pick and roll, but they did an excellent job adjusting the way we were playing. You got to take your hat off to those guys. But we did everything that it took to get this win. We knew it was going to be hard, but a win is a win.
Until tonight, it's been 7 years almost 7 years since 2 Sixers combined for 30 points or more in a regulation game. What's up with that?
I mean, it says a lot about who he is as a player. He's been going through a lot of rough things since he's been here, but he's kept a great head on his shoulders, and we've been supporting him. And it's only a matter of time before Chris Webber starts playing like Chris Webber. And once he starts playing like that, it's going to be hard for guys to beat us.
All right, AI, thanks a lot. Congratulations. We go over to Zoo.
The Bud Light player of the game, Allen Iverson, who in tandem with Chris Webber was terrific tonight. AI had 36, the game-winning jumper with just under 2.5 seconds to go, and Chris Webber with 32. The final score tonight, thanks to this Allen Iverson jumper, the Sixers by 2, 103 to 101. We'll be back.